You
By
are
that I mean I'm ready now.
born ready. Oh, once again, I did not change the title. This is great.
All right, we are a fucking professional thing right
There you
now.
go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please hold off while we put in the right
Just
title.
pretend this isn't happening.
Yep, just. All right, it's my turn to vamp. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would say our multiple viewers, welcome to another episode of
Okay,
Bleepin
it's done.
Space Jim. Ah, there we are.
Yeah.
All right, where as you can now see, there. I was just gonna say, we're on episode 6, Mud's Women.
Yeah. Yeah, we sure are. Oh, goodness gracious, Brayden. This is a classic episode.
Would you say that it could be one of the most feminist that we've seen thus far?
You know, I think we could get into that.
Oh, I had. Yes, I was
Oh,
just gonna say
yes, Squee,
Squee.
he has more
Yes,
than one.
yes,
No,
and
they
yes,
are not
Squee.
all
They are all.
classics.
Oh, never mind. I forgot about the content. Never mind. They're not all classics. This is this is the one where they try so hard to make one of the characters not a pimp. They
Yeah.
try so hard. But do we have context? Hell yeah, we do. Do we want to get into it?
Aren't they all classics given that they are like several decades old? You would think, but that is incorrect because nobody's ever heard of The Conscience of the King.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Oh yeah. Apparently. Mm.
Um, yeah,
I still
this
have, still haven't seen a Klingon.
we have not seen a Klingon. We do see them in season 1. We just have not seen them yet.
Okay.
um, this is a whole fucking episode. Let me just put it out there right now. There's a lot that happens.
Yes, there is a lot of things going on.
It's just
It's one of those ones that doesn't age well, shall we say?
yeah, definitely not.
Mhm.
Definitely not. All right, well, let's just do it. Let's hop into it. Oh,
So
I'm
just to
sorry,
say half,
Specs.
I would say half rim specs. That's all we got right now.
I mean, to be fair, we've established that my internet is significantly worse. Why won't it work proper? My internet is much worse than Braden's. So I don't know why we've been using my internet, but you know what? We have been. It's okay.
I was just gonna say, at this point, you've got the wider Twitch following, plus the slide deck.
Bleep in Twitch, y'all.
All right.
Thanks, Specs.
I'm just gonna say, I would say, Specs, you and I could talk. We'll have a spin off of this show where we just basically just talk Twitch issues.
I like that you say I have the wider following on Twitch, in that I have a Twitch channel.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a Twitch channel. I haven't streamed on it in 6 months, but still.
Oh, apparently it's freezing real bad.
Oh, balls. Hmm.
I don't know what to do. What do?
That is an excellent question. I would say potentially it might not be a bad idea if I try and. You know what? I think probably next time.
Yeah, next episode
try
we'll try Sled Deck. Next episode we'll try streaming it from Braden's computer.
All right, I get to learn how to use a Twitch deck. By God.
It's called Streamlabs, but okay.
Sure. This is the level that we're working with now.
Yeah, yeah. This is where we're at. All right. So the USS Enterprise chases an unregistered starship. I've had most of this White Claw.
It's entirely fair. So what I'm hearing is I need to catch up.
Yeah. The USS Enterprise chases an unregistered starship, a small Class J cargo ship. Fleeing, the ship approaches an asteroid belt with a Schiller rating of 3.5. The small ship's peril increases further when its desperate speed causes its engines to overheat.
Oh yeah, so he's running, he's blown his engines, and he's in an asteroid field.
In case you were wondering, a Schiller rating is a measurement of a certain characteristic of asteroid belts.
That's an actual thing. I thought it was just
Oh,
I thought it was just
it's a
science
hundred.
witchcraft.
No, no, no. It's made up. The entire
Oh,
description of it is It's a measurement of a certain characteristic of asteroid belts. I don't know what characteristic, I don't know what it's describing, and I don't know what the measurement means, but that is what a Schiller rating is.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's asteroid. No,
No clue.
I think. Yeah, I was just gonna say I would have also written a certain rating if I had
Yep.
to write this in 4 days.
Yep. So now that we've teased everyone with what the episode is about, let's actually describe. Let's go some of the. Oh gosh, my brain. This is not my best work, y'all, and I'm sorry. Let's talk about the details of this episode. So Mud's Women is episode 6. It was directed by Harvey Hart. The story was by Gene Roddenberry, but the teleplay, so the like actual script, was by Stephen Candle. It featured music from Fred Steiner and cinematography once again by our favorite friend Jerry Finnerman. We have Roger C. Carmel as Leo Walsh / Harry Mudd, Karen Steele as Eve, Susan Denberg as Magda, Maggie Threat as Ruth, Gene Donarski is Ben Childress, John Cowell is Herm Gossett, Seaman Glass is Benton, Jim Goodwin is Farrell, and Jerry Foxworth plays a guard.
I like that it's just ended as a guard.
Just guard.
Guard. He's involved.
So it's this is one of the episodes where like they kind of played with it possibly being a pilot, but it never really landed on that. And Gene Roddenberry told Stephen Candle he wanted a swashbuckling character as the guest lead. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
Correct.
Also, Squee, they never solve that because I think they're on a 5-year mission. They don't stop.
Actually, interestingly, warp engines in later episodes are powered by dilithium crystals instead of lithium crystals.
Okay.
So it's like they do
Twice as much lithium.
Yeah.
Twice as much lithium.
Well, no, it's that the lithium has 2 molecules. That's what dilithium is.
Fair enough.
It's 2 molecules of lithium instead of just the one. We don't know what the difference is or why. It just sounds cooler to say dilithium.
Oh, 100%. I think my active assumption is just going to be twice as much lithium.
That's fair. Also, hello, Eamon. We're doing Harry Mudd today.
I was just saying, God bless you for having an maybe immediate reaction of, oh, this one.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a classic.
Yeah. It is widely known, which is, I guess, maybe not quite the same, but yes.
Yeah, close.
Yeah, we'll count it. Famous, infamous.
Yeah, 6 of one, half dozen the other, right?
2 sides, same coin.
As the cargo ship drifts into the asteroid belt, the Enterprise is forced to extend its shields around the ship, and this extreme power expenditure destroys 3 of the ship's crucial lithium crystal circuits. Montgomery Scott manages to beam the ship's master and 3 women off just before an asteroid destroys the vessel with a dead center hit.
Now, do we have a picture of what the master of this ship looks like, Haley?
Oh, we do.
Oh, boy.
Let's find out which photo I have set. Not that one. Very professional. Yeah.
Yes.
There's
this is
our
swashbuckler.
Swashbuckling guest lead.
This does seem to me, again, I don't have a huge amount of the history of when exactly TV went from black and white to color. This seems a color palette almost from black and white, because you just needed to aggressively tell, okay, this was a shirt, this was a pant, this was the pants. That's sort of what this seems like to me. This seems like something that was dressed for black and white.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. So
Science! Every specs. Science!
So CBC launched color television on September 1st, 1966.
Oh, wow. It was
CTV,
real close.
yeah, CTV also started color broadcasts in September 1966.
Okay.
Radio Canada was broadcasting color programming for 15 hours a week in 1968.
Okay.
So yeah, in 1966, Alberta had color TV. Newfoundland and Labrador got it in 67. Nova Scotia, New Brunswick 68, Prince Edward Island in 69, Yukon in 71, and the Northwest Territories got it in 1972. Pretty much everywhere else had it in 66.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough.
Let's see. The first national color broadcast in the United States occurred on January 1st, 1954.
Oh, so
So
not even
they
close. Never
they
mind.
they had color by this time.
I'm saying at this point, so they had at least a decade of, okay, this is how we don't make this person blinding.
Dihalium? Really,
Dihalia.
Squee? No.
No,
Not bro.
she's so pleased. She's so pleased.
No, I can
She's
imagine the
so
grin on
pleased.
her face right now. All right. Yeah, so this is the ship's master, who speaks with a broad Irish brogue, identifies himself as Leo Francis Walsh.
Leo Francis Walsh.
He claims he avoided the Enterprise out of fear that it was a hostile vessel, which is wrong because the Enterprise was like attempting to contact it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
In the
It's not hostile
transporter,
if they try and tell you.
in the transporter room, Scott and McCoy are immediately transfixed by the three women, as are many of the male crew members, as the women saunter through the ship's corridors. Walsh, who comes off as charismatic but does not successfully conceal the fact that he is a con man, plays up the women's effect in a manner suggestive of a pimp, but notes that Spock, being half Vulcan, is immune to their charms. Walsh and his women are led by Spock to Captain Kirk's quarters after the captain demands that Walsh be there whether he can walk or not.
Do we have a picture of the reaction of every male crew member except for one, Haley?
I believe that's
Those are
one.
the. I was like, yeah, no, those are the women. And
Yeah.
yep,
Spock is like, ugh, women.
yep.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's like a perfect definition of swashbuckling, half-rimmed.
100%. I would say the sleeves were ruffled. The
Mm-hmm.
sleeves were ruffled, ballooned. The
Yep.
mustache is.
You might even call them puffy sleeves.
I mean, I'm gonna now.
um, I have a note here that says the circuits break like when I accidentally hit radio in my car, which
Yep.
which I think is just when I'm like trying to like change something, like if I'm trying to turn up the music and I just like hit the radio button and it's like, oh God, no.
Oh, 6:60 a.m. What the hell?
No,
I guess.
thank you.
No,
Nice
absolutely.
call
And
out, 660.
thank you.
I got a couple friends that work there.
Well, there we go. That's one that always ends up on there. No offense to 6:60 a.m. But yes, long story short, for a television show that was airing in the 60s, that there were some alarming fuck me eyes being given.
Oh, oh, like all of these three women are just like pure sex. That is
Yep.
their entire purpose is just to be sexy.
Yep.
That is the reason they exist. Sorry.
Yep. I was just gonna say
Oh
no. At this
gosh.
point, this is the core porn opening
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
this, complete with
They
like the
really
Vaseline wipe on the camera,
yeah,
like just the yeah.
they absolutely do that. Yeah, it is. There's a lot that happens in this.
Yep.
um I wanted to point out it's very interesting when they enter this when they enter the captain's quarters, they knock on the door. There's no doorbell. They actually have to knock.
I don't know if I'd expect a doorbell in the captain's
Well,
quarters, to be honest with you.
in all other Star Trek um, iterations, there's a doorbell that like it does the like do do do.
Oh, okay.
I'll find the sound effect at some point and I'll send it to you. But
All
yeah,
right, I'm
it was
invested.
like very weird to see them like physically knock on the door. I'm like normally they just ring a bell, but
Or barge right in if you're Spock.
yeah, that's also true because it is Spock.
Yep.
My other note from this scene says Jim Kirk is bi and you can't change my mind.
What? Explain. That's a joke for, admittedly, about 3/4 of our viewers, but
Braden's podcast, everybody, is called What Explain.
I'll put that in wherever I can. But yes, I'm actually real curious as to where that is because I'm 98% sure he's not. There is no sexual tension between him and Leo Walsh.
Oh no, it's between him and Spock.
Oh, that yes, no, absolutely. Never mind.
Yeah, there was like some way that he described something that I was like, yeah, you're bi. There's no way I believe that you are straight.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
As often the gayest person in a given room. I will never get over how fun it is to hear Squee laughing in the background.
I was like, and we have no idea at what point.
The chat is not supposed to be funnier than us.
I know it. They're on point. They're
on fire today. Good work, chat.
Well done, you guys. Well done, you guys.
Pimpin' ain't easy.
Pimping ain't easy. I'm sorry, Captain. Pimping ain't easy. All right, I've made her leave camera. It's only 22 minutes in.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Spock, what do you mean I've got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one?
God damn it.
Oh.
I mean, it's a good sign that you make your co-host laugh, but also like, God damn it, Brayden.
Well,
This is like DeForest for the trees all over again.
yep. It still remains the greatest thing I will ever do. It's all downhill from here now. Oh God. So I would say Theo Walsh introduces himself to the captain and then basically just accuses him of trying to run his ship off the road. So
Yep.
he's trying to basically, what it seems to be like, it's just like, oh, he's trying to get money or something out of her. It's like, great, give me an ungodly amount of money and we'll leave. And drop us off at the nearest planet and we'll leave.
Yeah, he's gaslighting the captain hard. Like he is trying to convince the captain that what he did is not what everyone else interpreted.
And Kirk doesn't buy it for a second. Just
Nope.
Immediately just like, yeah, no, we're basically for all intents and purposes calling a ship court martial on you.
So I was curious about this. I don't know if you would know the answer to this, and I don't know if anyone would know the answer to this. But like, would the FAA hold a trial like this? Like if you flew without identification or something like that, like would they put you on trial? Is that a criminal offense? I genuinely don't know.
I feel that would at the very least be some level of offense. I'm not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
Again, sort of like basically the powers that Kirk has do seem to vary between like high level military and high level naval, just depending on the episode.
Yeah, it's just kind of like whatever they need it to be. Because
Yep.
that would be my question. Like if we were on a Navy ship, like a present day Navy ship, and they came across a boat that was like not identifying itself and was like avoiding, can they put that ship's captain on trial?
I mean, I think maybe if it's within their territorial waters and or
Mm-hmm.
spaces. Oh.
That would be my guess. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess it's
Just
not.
interesting.
But yeah, at the very least, it's like, yeah, we're putting you on trial, bro. You need to.
I also want to point out that they said jackass.
Yeah.
They call Leo Walsh a jackass.
Twice.
And I was like, can you say that on TV in 1966? I
Apparently
like wasn't that the whole
PG-14.
For fear, sex.
Yep.
Wasn't that the whole thing with George Carlin that he had the bit about like words you can't say on TV?
I don't think Jackass was one of them.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, I was just gonna say the chat has now gotten to
To
the
you
plug.
plugging yourself. Oh, no, wait.
I was just gonna say that's the later show. That's the
You.
later show, I think.
I don't want to.
I was just gonna say no.
Chat doesn't need to
There'll
see
be a
you
link
plugging
at the end to
yourself.
that. There's gonna be a link for the end to that. Don't worry about
No, no, God, no. Absolutely not. I refuse to link your OnlyFans.
it. Listen, it can't all be feet pictures, Haley.
No, that's Wiki Feet.
Oh, god damn it. You're right. But that's just the crowdsourced version.
That's
I
true.
gotta make bank. I gotta make bank.
Well, that's why you have a Patreon now.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, I do.
What's the website for that?
Patreon.com
Slash.
slash what explain.
So
But again,
patreon.com/whatexplain.
yes, again, I'll say we'll get to the plugs at the end. I promise. I have many of them.
I can't.
Nope, too late. Too late.
All right, moving on.
Yep.
Okay. Kirk has him confined to quarters pending a formal hearing. Meanwhile, all ship's power is being channeled through a single lithium crystal circuit, and the crystal has a hairline fracture at its base. The bypass circuits were also burnt out in the rescue attempt. Repairs are needed, and that means a visit to the nearest source of crystals, the mining colony on Rigel 12. Before the ship's hearing, Walsh meets with the women and coaches them on their testimony, advising them not to lie, but mysteriously ordering them not to submit to a medical exam. At the Go ahead, please.
Oh no! I was just saying this entire scene I actually enjoyed the shit out of, just because, not even because of the acting, but because like there's almost like a dramatic irony sort of thing of, okay, we need to get the audience to know that, okay, this guy's name is Harry. There's something up with the women. And I was like, great, we have 30 seconds to do this.
Yeah, it's like, how do we shove all the important exposition in before anyone realizes what's going on?
Yep. It was spectacular. I don't know if it's brilliant or just absolutely ham-fisted, but...
Brayden, do you play Clue very often?
No.
Well, my cause of death was Brayden on the Twitch stream with the laughter. I stole that from Specs, and I appreciate it. It's a good joke. It's a good joke.
Oh shit! There we are. That's what I get for not paying attention to chat.
No comment.
Also, Squee, I have Squee grave doubts about their general heterosexuality with the amount of general alien life they are attaching.
There's a lot of shirtless men in Star Trek.
Absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
God, we love it. Anyways.
At the inquiry, Kirk learns that the women are to be wives for settlers on Ophiuchus 3. I think that's how you pronounce it. Each voluntarily left a situation in which her marriage prospects were slim or non-existent. Leo Walsh is revealed to be the intergalactic criminal Harcourt Fenton Mudd, and his Irish brogue promptly disappears.
And the way they get this is by the single greatest robotic assistant.
What? Which robotic assistant is this? Oh, right,
no,
it's the computer.
This is the lie detector. The lie detecting computer.
What does it say again?
Incorrect. Just every time Harcourt, I would say Harry Mudd opens his mouth. Incorrect.
Yeah, it's like
just
you just need to know he's lying to you.
Yep. I would say just immediately. It's like, all right, fine. Damn that tin-plated pot.
Well, the tin-plated pot is smarter than you, Harcourt.
Yep. Oh, it's great. It's great.
Brayden, this may be another what explain moment. Have you heard of the 16th century filles du roi, ladies of the king or daughters of the king, that were sent to Quebec from France to help populate Quebec with non-indigenous people.
Vaguely.
So this is what it like reminded me of is there were like hundreds and hundreds of girls in the 1700s who were taken from their homes in France and taken for various reasons. Parents may have died. They may have been in a community where they really didn't have any marriage prospects. They may have been orphans, and they were, at the expense of the crown, sent to Quebec to marry and have children and basically populate Quebec, or as it was called
Oh.
at the time, populate New France with French
Mm-hmm.
people rather than, the indigenous people that had been there for hundreds of
Huh.
thousands of years. Um, so this
Interesting.
is what it kind of reminds me of is like taking people away from poor marriage situations or poor marriage prospects and moving them into places where they've got better marriage prospects. On that point, though, I have a very big problem with the idea that, like, well, I just want to be a wife and I can't be a wife where I am now. And I'm like, but what if you weren't a wife and you had, like, aspirations and a career and stuff?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's like, great. All they want to be is a wife somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. No, thank you. My next note on that says it's still human trafficking.
Yep. Especially pretty bluntly. Well, they're not me crew. They're
More
more
me
me
cargo.
cargo. Cargo. It's half
Wait,
Irish, half Barbosa.
where does the
That's
car
pretty
go?
much what it is. On the road.
Um, Hafter and Specs says, that monkey fight over international waters on The Simpsons? That's how.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, good. I'm glad you knew what that meant. Like
Yeah,
I
I was
know it
saying.
had to do with being with like um us talking about the trials.
Yeah, no, I think that was the trials. Yes, and I believe.
But I've never
I
watched The
think
Simpsons, so I don't know what he's talking about.
that's entirely fair. That is entirely fair.
Not if you ask Specs.
Catherine, I'm just gonna say Specs may need to show you that one. It's like, yeah, that's a decent enough
I
explanation.
might someday watch The Simpsons. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. All right. Mudd has a long history of convictions for smuggling, transport of stolen goods, and purchasing of a space vessel with counterfeit currency, and has been sentenced to psychiatric treatment, the effectiveness of which is in dispute. His ship's master's license has also been revoked. Kirk decides to hand Mudd over to legal authorities as soon as possible. Toward the end of the hearing, the final lithium crystal fails, and when Mudd overhears Kirk's orders to contact the miners on Rigel 12, he begins to plan how the situation can work to his advantage. The women can work their charms on the lonely, isolated, overworked, rich lithium miners and get a much better deal for themselves. Mudd himself dreams of taking over the Enterprise with all his new fortune and loudly announces that the next orders Kirk will be taking will be from Mudd himself. Strangely, he delivers the whole speech in front of Vinci and another security guard. That's
I'm
an
just gonna. That was also
excellent
an initial
point.
thing of like, that seems a thing they'd be telling the captain pretty quickly.
Yeah, like why?
Hey, the guy who got locked up, he wants to take over.
And it's interesting because this is essentially a pirate, like a smuggler. Like this is a Han Solo who has
Hmm.
said, "I am going to just walk into this highly military ship and take it over." So he essentially
Yep.
wants to steal a military ship. That's not
Mm-hmm.
just a thing you do.
And yet he has a very, very, very specific and elaborate plan that he's apparently just thought up off the top of his freaking
Yeah, he's
head.
he's never considered this before. This has never been a thing that he's had to think about.
And now, but yes, immediately after he has that, it's like there he turns into Danny Ocean.
Wait. Which Danny Ocean? George Clooney or Frank Sinatra?
I'm gonna say Sinatra. I
Yeah.
won't lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
It's a
Sinatra.
good Sinatra. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get behind
Yeah, I
that.
would
For
say
those of
it's
you that
definitely the
don't know, the
Sinatra.
original Ocean's 11 starred Frank Sinatra and the rest of the Rat Pack.
I would say it's a it was a Rat Pack
Yeah.
vehicle. That's what it was.
I remember we're just gonna go off on this tangent for a second. I remember watching the original Ocean's 11 and being like, okay, cool. Now it's time for the heist. And then the movie ended, and I was like, oh, the movie's not about the heist. It's about getting the band together. I was a little
Yeah.
disappointed. It was like the Blues Brothers without the show at the end.
Yep. It's just two guys on a mission from God.
I'm sorry, you're saying it wrong. It's a mission from God.
You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. We're on a mission from God.
There it is. Correct.
There it is. I appreciate a line reading. No, no. I
I
appreciate a line
always
reading.
have a
Yep.
line note. Yeah,
State
this
dream.
scene just gets so weird because Harry Mudd is like, okay, this is what we're doing, and it's like none of this plan is going to work. Like,
And yet, and yet.
but you know how like you watch most of these Star Trek episodes, there's like some weird harebrained plan that you don't think is actually going to succeed, and then
Mhm.
it doesn't, but it's like a well thought out plan. This is not a well thought out plan. The plan consists of I'm going to get Kirk's job.
Yep.
Like how are you
By
going to do that?
specifically getting the women to maybe bang people.
Yeah, the women are going to sleep with the miners and then I'm going to become Captain Kirk. I really
That is part 1 and 2. Yep.
Yeah, so it's step 1, women have sex with miners. Step 2, question mark. Step 3,
Step 3,
Harry Mudd becomes captain.
profit.
No, that's step 4. Oh, technically I guess profit is step 2, but still.
Yeah, I guess
Okay,
it's a part
so
of
it's step 1, women sleep with miners. Like people who
Mhm.
mine, not people who are underage. Step 2,
Yes.
profit.
Yes.
Step
Yeah.
3, Harry Mudd becomes captain of Enterprise.
Maybe that should be the merch shirt we sell. Step 1, step 2, step 3.
Okay, I'm actually writing that one down. Like normally I don't write down these merch shirt ideas, but I love this.
You are very kind and no, all right.
Yeah, talk about other things while I write this down.
Yes, no, absolutely. Okay, they sort of do have like a Danny's Ocean-esque plan in that for all intents and purposes the blue one, because for all intents and purposes it's the
It's
blue
purple.
one, the green one, and it's
It's
blue.
not
The
blue.
bluish purple one. It's the bluish purple
It is.
one.
I am pulling up the photo right frickin' now. It is not blue.
Okay, fine. The purple one is tasked to find out the names of the miners and basically their marital status. The green one is sent to seduce Bones and find out apparently how many miners there are because apparently he knows that.
Yeah, the ship's doctor would obviously know that.
And Eve, the pink one, is. Do you think this is where the Powerpuff Girls came from?
You know, it's a very common color scheme when you have 3 women that you need to not give any personality to, but still identify.
Fair enough. All right, asked and answered. But the third, I was just gonna say, Eve is put in place to seduce Captain Kirk, and then just when she is about to lock lips with him, she just all of a sudden, oh, I can't do it.
Never mind.
Never mind, and just immediately, I would say Eve also appears in Kirk's bedroom.
Would
Without
you
Kirk
like
being.
me to read it?
Yes, please, please. I love a dramatic reading.
Eve visits Kirk's quarters, whom Kirk views lying on his bed. Eve claims she's feeling harassed by the men on board, but is unable to go through with her flirtation, blurting out that Mudd put her up to it. She flees to Mudd's quarters and tells him that she's feeling ill, saying, "It's time." She doesn't say it like that.
Pretty close. Honestly, it's pretty close. There's a dire tone to
Yeah,
it.
like she is extremely concerned, and I'm like, is she gonna turn into a bug? Like,
Worse.
is this like Cinderella and she turns into a pumpkin? Like, what is happening here?
Worse.
Shh,
He
shh, shh.
ages.
No, you're.
I'm so sorry.
Hold the phone. You just said something bad because they age?
Wait for it.
Yeah, you'll once Squeak catches up to us.
Wait 5.5 minutes, and you'll find out.
um, Magda, the green one, manages to obtain a communicator from Lieutenant Farrell. Basically, she bribes one of the, like, she seduces one of the guards.
Mhm.
Mud uses it to contact the miners before Kirk does and hammers out a deal. But back in Mud's quarters, the women begin physically breaking down, turning terribly old and haggard. If I end up looking like any of these women when I am like 65, I'll be pretty happy because they look darn good.
Yep, I was just gonna say I don't necessarily know if it was just like I couldn't quite figure out like okay, are they just sort of like I don't know like mid 20s and seemingly homely? Are they just people who are just like in their like late 70s or 80s just desperately trying to get youth?
Oh, Brayden, I was going to ask you to ask Sarah if she read the Dear Canada books as a child, but nope. Apparently, they theater class.
Theater class.
Theater class.
Theater class.
I'll text her about it later.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Apparently, being old is a terrible thing.
Yep. Or at the very least, enough to sell yourself into indentured servitude.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Just in time, Mud finds a pill box he had hidden in his mattress and gives one pill to each of them, immediately restoring their youth. Now, as a pharmacy professional, I would just like to say that that is a
Don't take
weird.
drugs from men with mustaches.
First of all, don't take drugs from men with mustaches, unless it specifically has a prescription label on it. Um, and I would also like to say the pill box that he opens is very odd, and those are clearly just gummy vitamins. Like they're squishy,
Yep.
but they swallow them whole. It's very weird.
You gotta get that citric acidy mixed berry taste in there.
Yep. Yum. As Eve is turning the crystalline Venus pill over in her hand, it's not crystalline. It's just kind of red and squishy.
Yep, it's red and
It's not.
squishy, and they threw some sparkle effects on it.
Yeah, like it. This is not. This is not what you think it is. Spock is examining a burned out lithium crystal. The
Mhm.
miners come on board the Enterprise, but when Kirk offers them an equitable price, he learns they really want to barter. They want to look at Mud's women and maybe trade for them. On top of which, they want Mud released and the charges dropped. Shocked and annoyed, Kirk refuses the offer, but Mud figures Kirk will have no choice soon enough, as the ship's functions are starting to shut down without the crystals, and the Enterprise will begin to spiral down towards Rigel 12. As Mud notes to Kirk, he has no choice. He must acquiesce to the miners' demands. I I really wonder if the miners understand that they are engaging in human trafficking. Like this is still illegal in the Federation, right? Like
I'd
exchanging people for
assume so.
goods. That's got to.
I would very much assume so.
Mhm.
Also, apparently, you're not missing much without Simpsons, so I think the chat is about to erupt in a civil war.
Yeah, this is going to go super well. Both of our spouses are going to get in a shouting match.
Yep. Yup. It's gonna be fine. 2,800 kilometers is enough to separate their wrath.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, we should be
Maybe. Should be
fine.
fine. Should be fine.
I mean, to
Plus,
be
this is
fair,
gonna.
you live with your spouse, and mine sees me on a regular basis. So I think we're actually the ones who are going to get yelled at
Oh, that's also fair.
when you. I'm not. I
Well, you've got your evenings planned for the next 4 months.
look, man. I got shit to do. I don't have time to watch 11 seasons of a sitcom, of a cartoon sitcom.
The Simpsons. Anyways.
Like I got like taxes and stuff.
I got taxes. So,
And
I think I might
stuff.
genuinely. I might genuinely just start using that as an excuse. Sorry, man, I've got taxes and stuff. I
It's like the most adult excuse for not doing something. I got
got taxes
taxes
and
and stuff.
stuff. But Brayden, we need you in this meeting. You work for a living. I got
Yeah,
taxes
yeah, I
and
got
stuff. I'm
taxes
sorry,
and
man.
stuff, man. Like,
I got taxes and stuff. I'm sorry.
I'm putting that on my Instagram or on my Instagram description. I got taxes and stuff.
Yep.
Yes, I am writing it down.
Yes,
Taxes and
absolutely.
stuff.
Abs.
Uh, I want to point out because we haven't really been able to emphasize it. This entire episode, the women are just like, yeah, all we want to do is be housewives. That's it.
Yep.
That's all we're here for is we're just a body and a housewife. And I feel like that would not have read very well in 1966 anyways, and it reads even worse in 2022.
Mm-hmm. No, it's frightening.
Yeah.
Like it almost seems like a parody of it.
Old blue eyes.
All blue eyes. I'm now just trying to think of how far back the chat might be.
You know what? Specs is in 1998. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
There you go.
Sorry.
See, I cracked my second can of beer, so I quietly did it away from the microphone.
No, no, I did it right next to the microphone.
Yeah, see, that's what I should have done.
Yeah, it's the best sound. I love it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think if I grab a third beer, though, I am going to be even more nonsensical.
Excellent.
Therefore,
Excellent. Um, yeah, like just the whole thing. I'm just not. This episode has not aged well. I will say that.
not in the slightest. And I honestly think that might have been the only way the writers could think of. Oh, this is human trafficking. They need to somehow consent to this. But why would they agree to this?
Yeah,
I guess because they want to be housewives elsewhere, and there are no men on their planet? Question mark.
and they get a pill that makes them beautiful forever, which I'm like,
Oh, beautiful for a little bit.
eh. Well, it's the whole like polyjuice potion issue, right? You can be whoever you want, but you have to continually take this
Hmm.
medication that
Hmm.
affects every part of your body.
Hmm.
I feel like it's just a very archaic perspective and it's clearly written by a man.
Oh God, yes. Also, it's 1960s science fiction, so yes.
Yeah, yeah. Heaven forbid a woman do anything.
Mhm.
All right. Kirk, Spock, and Mudd beam down to the forbidding surface of Rigel 12, where the women are now living it up with Ben Childress and the other miners, Herm Gossett and Benton. Why does Benton only get one name? Nobody knows. Why is his name also Ben? Nobody knows.
It
Childress.
doesn't come back up.
No, it's just really. I don't know that they even give their names at any point.
I don't think
I
so.
think we just.
No, I would say we get Childress, the head miner, and oh God, the bearded guy who doesn't look like Ivan Drago.
Herm Gossett.
Herm Gossett.
Sorry, my glasses were getting gross, and I was like, I really need to clean them if I want
No,
to
that's
read.
entirely fair. I thought you were just incredibly farsighted, just like
Oh my god, that's not blue.
Herm Gossett.
You have been informed that it's not blue. Also, it's been sitting on
Yes.
that for a while.
Yep.
Let's switch back out of this. Um, Childress keeps Kirk waiting for the crystals, and the miners start fighting over Ruth and Magda. Eve, already conscience stricken about the deception, runs out into a storm. Childress goes
With
out.
the, may I say the one sort of thing, because it initially starts with basically the other two,
Hmm.
the non-evil, the purple and green ones, just pairing up with the other two miners that are not Ben Childress. So he incredibly awkwardly tries to flirt and then asks her to dance, in which she's like, "No, I'm not feeling well." So he cuts in on another woman. The person who was, I would say the miner was dancing with them, tries to cut in. Then there's a fight. And then Eve leaves with the phrase, "Why don't you all have a raffle and the loser gets me?"
What a sentence.
Yep.
What a clapback.
Yep.
Yep.
And wanders out into a magnetic storm.
Yep.
Yep.
One of my other notes in here says Harry Mudd is such a grifter.
Yep.
So true.
Oh God, yes.
So true. I write it like multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one of them, when at some point one of the miners tries to cut in on the other, and he says, "We're busy. I'm staring," and my note literally just says, "I'm staring at her." Like I'm just staring. It's fine.
Yes. Sorry. We're busy. That's about the tone that
Yeah,
it was given in.
pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Childress goes out to find her, and the two go missing as the Enterprise, still without crystals, begins to run out of energy. Back aboard the ship, Kirk snaps at Scotty but apologizes, and Scotty tells him the ship has approximately 5 hours of power left. What a weird way to put that.
I mean, that's also kind of by and large how it was delivered. Because basically, just like Kirk just snaps at him out of stress, apologizes, and Scotty, like in the exact same tone of voice of just like, "It's okay, boss. I understand." It's like, "There's 5 hours and 32 minutes of power left." Just in that same entirely reassuring, just, "It's okay, bud. We might die. It's okay, boss. We might die, but it's okay. I forgive you. You're good."
Oh, Scotty. What a
Oh,
good man.
Scotty. That's not. I was just gonna say that's a little more Irish than Scotty needs to be.
Yeah? Yeah?
Mm.
Childress finds Eve and brings her back to his quarters, and the Enterprise locates them through the heat of a cook stove in his hut. Eve is cooking for Childress. Kirk and Mudd prepare to beam down. Childress and Eve begin to warm up to each other as Eve proves more resourceful than Childress expected. But soon, Eve's looks begin to fade again, and Childress comments on this. As they start fighting, Kirk and Mudd arrive and explain about the Venus drug, which Childress had heard of but thought was only a legend.
Okay.
There's a lot to unpack.
Yes, I was just gonna say. Basically, once Childress finds Eve, rescues her, this starts what could be the most fucked up 3.5 minute romantic comedy I have ever seen in my life. Like, that is basically Act 1 and Act 2 of a terrible romantic comedy,
Yep.
shoehorned into 3.5 minutes.
Yep.
Old and Hagrid.
Haggard.
Should not have said that.
It's like
I should not have said that.
It's like how Grop says Haggard's name. Where Haggard?
Where Haggard?
Stabby, stabby. Hi, Petty Pixie.
Petty Pixie.
I also made a really dumb note where one of them started coughing, and I just wrote COVID.
Rude.
It's not helpful at all, but I said it anyways.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Prescient sci-fi is the way to go.
Here's also. So, while Eve is like making him breakfast and stuff, she's like, "Oh, you don't clean things as well as you could." He's like, "Well, I take care of myself. I'm a man. Blah, blah, blah. I have no woman." And she's like, "Well, now you have a woman, and I'm telling you that you need to like scrub better." And then she says, "Why don't you hang your pan out in the storm and let the sand clean it?" And I'm like, "Can sand clean a pan?"
I mean, it can blast things off, but
Yeah,
it's
but like
probably not the
it's not
most
gonna clean
hygienic.
it's not gonna clean my bacon grease off of there.
I mean, but he tried. He put it out there. He put it out
And
there.
then he said, "Oh, look, it did much better." And you're like, "No, it didn't."
You've now just got sandy bacon grease. You've now just got sandy bacon grease.
Sandy bacon grease was my alter ego in high school.
Oh, God damn it. You beat me to it.
Yes.
Oh, oh, you beat me to it. I was gonna say my Beach Boys cover band, but that's so much better.
Ooh, no, Beach Boys cover band is good. I will give you credit. That was very good.
Thank you, thank you.
um, also obligatory Eve for all you Wally fans out there.
Yeah, because that's the delivery that William Shatner gives, yelling out into the storm to try and find
No,
Eve.
no, no. It's Childress who tries to find her.
Well,
He's the one that
Shatner
yells.
makes I would say Kirk makes a token effort and then fucks back on up to the ship.
Yeah, that's true. Um, just like so many interesting sentences that happen here. I also have a note that says double jack. I don't know what that means. Um, I didn't.
Oh, I would say Childress was asking Eve if she was playing solitaire, but no,
Double
apparently she's
jack.
playing something called double jack.
Yeah, let's find out what double jack is.
Listen, I've spent a fair amount of time as a degenerate card player. I've not heard of it, but it could very well be a thing. All right, I would say at this point, I'll vamp because also one of the things I noticed about Childress is not once but twice says, "I didn't touch her,"
Yeah, which
which
is
is
weird.
that's sort of a
That's not how normal people talk.
no. That is a phrase. That is a weirdly practiced phrase.
Double Jack was a single player playing card game similar to the Earth game Solitaire. And that's all I got.
The Earth game Solitaire. Okay, fair enough. All right. Okay, so this is also the dilithium crystal and
Schiller rating.
filler rating. Yes, all right, fair enough.
Where it was just a throwaway sentence.
It's a throw. Fair enough. Asked and answered.
Yeah, and then he makes a big deal about how she's losing her um she's losing her beauty. Like he's very superficial because he was starting to bond with her just a little bit. And then as soon
Hmm.
as he realized that she wasn't as gorgeous as he originally thought, um he's all of a sudden like, "Well, you're a liar."
I could buy. I'm so rich, I could buy queens by the gross. I believe was the phrase used.
Yes, that's correct. Yep. But it's also like, what are you doing with that money? And also, can love can we talk about love?
Oh, absolutely. Let's talk about love.
But like, why can't you marry
Do you
someone?
believe in a thing called love? Just listen to the rhythm of your
I
heart.
do. I do. But after a point, you do start to ask yourself, what's love got to do with it? Got to do with it?
It's only just a secondhand emotion. I like to hope that Squeeze laughing at this, but it's also whatever we were saying.
Yeah, yeah. You would love to think that the love of your life is laughing about you making love references, but oh gosh.
No.
Specs just said long haul, Abob. Oh, long haul. Having to watch all the Simpsons.
Yeah. I got taxes and stuff.
Taxes
Oh,
in September.
we have some accountants in chat.
We do, actually, we do.
Oh my god, we have accountants. This is spectacular.
It's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I'm getting a
I got
text later
taxes.
tonight that's like, why won't you watch Simpsons with me? Sorry, babe.
Yeah.
Um, uh, yeah, I just like, I feel as though Childress is the type of person who would marry for superficial reasons and then
Hmm.
learn that he could actually be in love with someone and be very disappointed with himself.
Distinct possibility. I mean, it's also he also. I mean, sure, he's insanely wealthy. He does nothing with that money,
Mm, that's true.
which
He's
is apparent from how he lives,
he's kind
which
of
is in a
like,
goddamn cave.
I mean, he's like diamond miners or rig workers right now who make oodles and oodles of money and don't do anything with it because they live at camp.
Yep.
And they're at camp the majority of time and everything's paid for. So they don't have to buy anything.
Yep. It'll just thunk. It's in my account at some point.
Yep. And then at some point I'll do something with it.
I'm so excited.
I'm very curious to see what she's laughing about now. Um, yeah, yeah. As
All right, so they've busted in. They've
Yes, Childress thought the Venus drug was only a legend. He and the other miners are dismayed to learn that Mudd has sold them a bill of goods. The women's natural beauty and allure has been enhanced by the Venus drug. Wait. What does bill of goods mean? What is that sentence?
I don't know. I mean, I assuming by context it means like, okay, he's been defrauded. Like I was just gonna say, they thought they got aggressively, ridiculously hot women, and apparently they
Ah,
didn't.
a consignment of merchandise. Or something intentionally misrepresented. Something passed off in a deception or fraud.
Okay, yeah, all right,
That makes
fair enough.
sense. Yeah, I
All
follow
right.
that now. Yeah, basically the Venus drug has made them all look beautiful. Oh my God, by the time you read this, I will 47. I don't know what that means. Specs. I don't know what that means. Are you
Specs,
trying to say
baby,
you will
sweetie,
be
honey,
47?
darling. Yeah, I was just gonna say, somehow.
Forget that I can actually like respond to things
Yeah,
in
I was
real
just gonna
time.
say, or is that just some sort of strange arcane sexual activity?
I would prefer that we not discuss this.
I mean, if it's 69 is one thing, a 47 maybe. Nah, never mind.
This is also a part that is very odd to me. Two of the miners have already married Mudd's women, the ceremonies having been
Immediately.
performed through subspace radio. Okay, is this like they called? Oh, you frozen. There you go. You're back now. Um, is this like they called up a Joel
I'm back.
Osteen and were like, "Hey, can you give us a marriage ceremony over the radio?" Like what? What? Or are you just saying that like we had sex, therefore we're married?
You know what? I'm thinking it's probably the latter, but the former is so much funnier to me. Not to mention, like Subspace Elvis. There's a Subspace Elvis with a Universal Life Church certificate.
Sorry.
No, 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 no. To be clear,
Specs
came
sometimes
back for me.
sometimes Specs and I go off on our own tangents.
Oh my God! Please, absolutely.
Yeah, I just have so many issues with this episode. um
Oh, absolutely.
well, thanks everyone for joining us for Bleepin Space Jim. Apparently I need to go deal with my relationship. I'm kidding. We only have like 10 minutes left of episode to go. Um,
Mm.
so Childress is angry, and Eve berates him for being more interested in the pill than in a real woman. She takes the pill and turns beautiful again. Childress isn't happy because her beauty is a fake, but Kirk reveals that he switched the pill with a placebo, colored gelatin, which it was always colored gelatin. Whatever. Eve's beauty is the result of her own self confidence. Isn't that an inspiring message?
All you need. Okay, I actually wrote down kind of Kirk's explanation. There's only one kind of woman in this world. Either you believe in yourself or you don't. That's.
That, Brayden, did you
Mhm.
say there's one kind of woman in this world and then immediately mean
Either you believe yourself or you
two
don't.
kinds of women?
Yes. Yes. That is exactly what William Shatner said with a straight
That's
fucking
true.
face.
That's I hate how true that is.
Mhm. Mhm.
um yeah, it I'm all about feminism, obviously. But I'm also like, look, if she wants to take a pill that makes her feel beautiful, fine. She is allowed to do that. But I also don't think that she's lying to people by doing that. I think she's lying if she doesn't tell people that she's doing that. Um and I think that the miners really could use some actual companionship that is not each other. Crack and Dawn can't wait for the fan fiction section of the podcast to start. Oh boy.
Oh man, I would say Crack and Dawn, you might have missed the first part where
We talked about plugging Braden a
well
lot.
yeah. Also just the overall series long tension between Kirk
Yeah.
and Spock.
Yeah. Kirk is bi, and you cannot change my mind. I think I've talked about my headcanon on the show before, where I believe that Kirk and Spock are in a open polyamorous relationship, where like they can't Kirk can go and like sleep with whoever he wants, but he's emotionally committed to Spock, who's asexual.
You know what? That
Yeah, it
follows.
tracks,
That
right?
follows.
That's my headcanon.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, so once we discover that the true beauty was inside her all along, Childress is happy about that, and he asks Eve to stay and talk so that maybe he can actually be a real human being. Mudd asks to be left behind on Rigel 12, but Kirk turns this down, offering instead to appear as a character witness at Mudd's trial. Mudd ironically comments, "They'll throw away the key." And in my head, I'm like, that's the point.
Yep.
As they should.
Yep.
Um, yeah, you know what? I wrote it here as well. Only one kind of woman. Binary option.
Yep. All right, Haley. I would say, do you have? I would say, let's. Oh God.
Please.
I would say I'll probably ask this to you little
Wait,
bit
wait,
earlier.
wait,
We do
wait.
sort of.
Before we go into this, because I know you're going to start to close things up,
Yes.
I just want to comment. One of my other notes was
Mhm.
Uhura has thighs to save lives. She got
You know
she
what?
got
That's yep.
thick thighs, and she looked real good.
Yep. I mean, also just by and large, I feel like after a while, the I would say the women. I would say like the women's Star Trek clothes were almost designed like, okay, we'll work off of Nichelle Nichols
Yeah,
at
I
this
think
point
that's very
because she
accurate.
was. That's my guess because I think by and large she's probably the woman on Star Trek that has the largest amount of screen
Probably,
time.
at least in the first one.
Yeah,
Anyways, I'm sorry.
or at least in
I cut
this
you
one.
off for very selfish
No, no,
reasons.
no, no, no. My goodness. No, no, no. Please, by all means. Besides, we may have to vamp for, or at least sit in silence for
No,
about
remember I
7 minutes
I
while
have a
chat catches
closing
up.
screen. It's okay now.
Oh, yes, that's right. All right, Haley. As longtime listeners and people who have looked in the bottom left of the screen know, Star Trek has been rated TV 14
Fear,
for fear,
sex.
sex. So Haley, do you think there's more fear or more sex in this episode?
It's a really interesting question. Um, this episode I think definitely is more on the sex side of things. Not as
Mm-hmm.
much fear. Like the women have a certain amount of fear of like being
Mm-hmm.
found out, but I think it's more about the sex.
Oh, absolutely. Again, the fat. Again, I don't know if I've mentioned, but like pretty much whenever the women are walking around, just like the three of them, there is a camera angle that I like to call the Fast and Furious special. That is right on their
Only the
butts.
butts
Like directly, yep, only the butts. Only the butts and like maybe a bit of
and
the upper
nothing but.
legs for the yep, only the butts and nothing but.
I can we now take a second to talk fashion?
Oh my god, yes. I have been waiting for this for an hour and
I'm
nine
sorry.
minutes now. Not at all.
Okay,
Continue.
so obviously, chat, you can now see the image I have put up on the screen. Um, I want that purple outfit so bad because it's like kind of a poncho, but it's a one shoulder thing, and it's like kind of
It's
checkered.
a very sexy
It's an
poncho.
extremely
It's a
sexy
very
poncho.
sexy poncho.
I'm a big fan.
That is not a phrase I have ever said. I don't think I will
I
ever
don't
say
think
again in
many
my
people will
life,
say it,
but
but yeah, it is.
no.
It's an extremely sexy poncho, and I'm a big fan. I really like the green dress. I like how it has like the slit across, but also
The slit on a 45-degree
it's
angle.
interesting. I like asymmetrical things. I
No, fair
especially
enough, fair enough.
in fashion, I think is very interesting. The
Again, as somebody who has 18 t-shirts like this, I bow to your
I
wisdom.
I I can be fashionable sometimes.
I have faith in you. I was just gonna say, look, you're wearing a good thing. I would say you're wearing a cool new thing right
Yeah, I sure
now.
am. It is, in fact, a crop top, and I'm not going to stand up because y'all don't need to see how badly it crops.
Oh, bud.
I just gotta lose a little weight. It ain't no thing. Um, I also would like to talk about Harry's outfit because, like, he
Yes,
looks like
our
fucking
court Fenton
D'Artagnan.
mud. Oh my god, he does.
He looks like one of the Three Musketeers. And then, like, the rest of the episode, he's basically not wearing this outfit. He pretty much just wears it for the very beginning, and that's it.
Yep. I would just say the enormous, like, there's absolutely no way those sleeves are not getting caught on
Talk about
something
Yankee
in
Doodle
that.
Dandy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
This is, oh, I mean, this is a classic episode, but for obvious reasons, I feel it has not aged well. And I don't like rewatching it. Honestly, I don't like Harry Mudd. I think he's just such a jackass. I don't really enjoy watching him. I like the character. I like what he brings as the like
Mhm.
antagonist, like slightly antagonistic type. But other than that, I'm kind of like, eh.
He's he's almost seems like a pantomime villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like completely down to the mustache and everything. It seems like he is a villain that is designed for an audience to boo at. Like just
Yeah.
whenever he comes on,
Yeah. That's a really good
boo.
point.
Like that's very much like even completely down to like even completely down to the
Hmm.
earrings, the mustache, the like I would say the hat,
I
the
mean, why does he
slightly
not have a sword on his belt?
yep. I mean also there's very much probably a sociological thing of he has the relatively like effeminate sort of like poofed out sleeves, the earrings
He does
relatively
kind of
compared
look
to the
like
hyper masculine
Snively
to
Whiplash.
the oh absolutely compared to the hyper masculinity of
Captain
Kirk et
Kirk.
al. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a sociological aspect of that
Mm.
as well, but it's also just like no, he looks like a pantomime
Yep.
villain.
Yep. 100%.
Hmm.
He would fit in very well with the Commedia dell'arte, where like he's
Yep.
a
Oh,
stock
100%.
image, like where you have all of the archetypes and you know everything about the character based on what they look like.
Yep. I mean, the minute we see this guy, it's like, oh, he's an
Yeah, we
asshole.
don't like him.
He's an asshole.
He's an asshole.
He's an asshole. Yo, 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 yo. We're almost doing this.
Well, I was trying
Okay,
to.
we're no
Well, no,
longer
I was
doing
trying
this
to sync
remotely in
with you, but
sync.
you were like not doing it in rhythm.
I've been drinking, thank you
So
very
have I.
much. Fine, I'm just terribly
You are a
asynchronistic.
little bit.
A little bit.
Uh, well, that was an episode, Braden. We got through
It
it.
was indeed
This.
hailed.
Oh, we'll see y'all in 2 weeks. We're gonna talk about a different episode, and that one is what are little girls made of?
On the top, I was just gonna say again, just off the title, because I haven't seen this yet.
Oh, this is. Oh,
Not a great
are we into
start.
ones that you haven't seen?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh
Oh
no.
boy.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
I think Mud's Women was the one where I just lost steam the last time. I was like,
You're like,
no,
nope, I'm
I
out.
don't
I'm
wanna.
tapping out.
I'll watch Castlevania. It's fine.
Hey, and was that better? Oh,
Kinda. I don't know. I
mm,
enjoyed it.
fair. Well, Braden, thanks for doing this with me again.
Haley. You're welcome,
And
Haley.
live fast and get fucked or whatever.
Live fast and get fucked and whatever to you too.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.